here they are. We all think number one, I got a value of 7, number 2, x is greater than 5 on the corresponding graph, and then the one, Sasha, question?
I think the sign the signs stay the same because you have the back line.
So I just took a peek at your paper there, Sasha, and it looks like you've got, kind of as your final step, it looks like you've got 5 is less than x.
Yeah.
So I would say that 5 is less than x is the exact same thing as saying that x is greater than 5. It's like saying, I mean, so it's like, it would be weird to say, so think about it, Sasha, what if you said, hey, later today I'm going to have lunch? We'd all say, okay, great. But what if you said, having lunch is something that I'm going to do later today? And you said it backwards, but you're saying the same thing.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Why, when you did the slope on number 3, why did you go up 2 and across 2 if it's
You know, so personally, I wanted the points to be spaced apart enough where you could see them. I felt like if I went up 1, hey guys, I would say that Ella's question is pretty good. She was questioning here on number 3. She said, why go up to left 2, right? Or down 2, right 2? Is that what you asked?
Well, because wouldn't you just go up by 1 because x is minus 5?
Yeah, but I want you to think about this. That's why I think your question, I think, is really, really good. I wanted to get the points spread apart enough to where you could see them pretty clearly. Isn't going up to right 2
No.
the same? No, let me finish. Isn't that the same as going up 1, right 1?
Oh, yeah.
Or up to left 2, up to left 2, or up 1, left 1? That's the same thing, right? So the truth is, if I wanted to, I don't see a reason why I'd want to, but if I did, I could have gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have done that too. So as long as the ratio between the up and the left is 1, we're good.
So it could have been like up 8, sideways 8, and it would have been this. Oh.
Yep, because we're talking about that ratio between rise over run. So if your rise over run would reduce down to be a -1, same thing.
Okay.
Yep, great question.
Technically, you got it right if you just went up run, sideways run.
I wouldn't even throw the word technically in there. I'd say you 100% got it right. Like I said, the only reason why I did what I did is I wanted you to be able to clearly see the space between the points. So you could tell that they were different points. I just felt like, you know, getting one in right there and one in right there starts to feel a little crowded. Debatable. Good questions. Anybody else? Sophia. When is the Unit 2 test? I don't have these things memorized. We can look though.
Is it after fall break?
I'm guessing. Guessing it is. Let's find out. So if you need to flip backwards a little bit to kind of remind yourself of how to find a slope, that's fine. But I thought this would be a good way to tie in what we did last time with what we're going to do today. So it says if a line passes through those 2 points, what is the slope of that line? The slope? The formula or the method to find the slope? Organizational. Do you want a binder clip for future use? Okay. is it does not matter which one you call first or the second, you just have to stay consistent. What you don't want to do is do this minus that over that minus this. It's got to be this minus that over this minus that, or this minus that over this minus that. So the one thing you can't do is 6 minus 5 because 5 is not one of the coordinates. There's a negative 5 that's one of the coordinates. So I can see how somebody would do 6 minus negative 5, but I don't think you can do 6 minus 5. Make sense? So a couple things here. You lost your negative. It's actually negative 5. So that one, and you've got your y's in the denominator. Well, you lost the negative off the 2. How do you find the difference between two things? But you're going to compare ages and figure out how much older you subtract. So I would say that it should be 6 minus negative 5. Make sense? There you go. Yeah, you just had a 6 minus 5. I'm going to show you. I like this. We're going to use these here in a second. It's so cute. That'd be a good way to start. That's not the only way you can do it. That is definitely a way to do it. Okay, let's look at a solution for this one. So it uses the word slope. Obviously a key word here. Can anybody describe slope?
It's incline of the line.
Incline of the line, the M.
Rise over run.
Rise over run. These are all really good descriptions. Does anybody remember the actual formula?
Y equals mx plus b.
Ooh, careful. So, please check this out, please.
Oh, it's y2 minus y1.
There we go.
x2 minus
Shh, quiet down. What is that?
slope intercept.
This is slope intercept form of a line. You can actually figure out your slope from this, but this is not your slope. What you guys said at the end is the slope. You said m equals the second y minus the first y over the second x minus the first x. So as I was walking around, I noticed the number one issue here, number one issue was dealing with negative signs and minus signs and all that stuff. The number two issue is which one goes in the top. So a really simple way to remember what goes in the top. Some people will just remember that y is closer to the sky. See how the y is in the top? Y is in the top, so y is always closer to the sky. And then the x would be the other one. So y is closer to the sky. So let me ask you guys this. For ours, you might have had a little different order, but I'm going to go with this. When looking at my 2 points here and here, what's the second y? Negative 5 is the second y. What's the first y? And then how do you find the change between two things? You subtract. So I've got a negative 5 and I've got a 6. Hey guys, hey, I want to make sure that you're good. Please check this out. So it should be, or it could be, negative 5 minus 6 in the top. So what's the second x? The second x is not negative 1. Second x is 3. How about the first x? And how do you find the difference? This one's a little tricky. This is the place where if people are going to miss a minus sign, this is usually where they do it. So the numerator should be negative 11. What's 3 minus negative 2? So that would be your slope right there, negative 11 fifths.
Wait, would it be 11 negative 6?
11 over negative 5?
Yeah.
Yep, that would work too. Same thing. Anybody else? Okay, so let's move forward then. Let's do these two and then we'll jump more into our our newer stuff for today. So you see two lines right there, of course. There's a red one, and there is a blue one. Can you tell that the red one is horizontal?
Yeah.
And the blue one is vertical? Okay. So the question is, can you find the slopes of lines A and B? So I just want you to speculate. I want you to think about it, discuss if you want. Give you a couple minutes to do that. Okay, anybody have a guess on line A? What's the slope of line A? What do you think, Bree?
A 0?
What do you think about that, guys?
I think it would be like how many over.
Well, it's how many over it is. So, what for line A then, Ellie? What would it be?
Well, I have to count. Like how many over like the run is.
Okay, so what do you think it would be for this one? Okay.
That's already right.
What else? Any other suggestions? What do you think, Sophia? You guys all paying attention? Check out what's going on the screen, please. Some interesting things for sure. Any other suggestions? Okay. Hey, guys. Hey. So y equals 4 is the one that kind of stands out as a little bit different because the other two are m equals. Does anybody have anything to say about y equals 4? Any thoughts on that? Is it good? Not so good? Bless you.
Yes, you're right. Because why would I ski that?
Were you thinking the why would I ski that thing? Okay. So guys, I think there's a lot of good things going on, but I want to make sure we get these straight. So right here, y equals 4. This is not the slope. It's not the slope of the line. Isn't that the equation of the line? So you're right. That is definitely the equation of the line. Like if I wanted to get that y equals 4 line, it's y equals 4, right? Why would I ski it? That's the equation of the line, but it's not the slope. So I'll just put, that's the equation of the line. But like I said, not the slope. I've got two suggestions up there of slope equals 0 or slope equals 24. So I want you guys to check this out. Isn't slope equal to rise over run? Shh. Hey folks, listen up please. Seriously. I want to make sure you have this straight because it's easy to get this stuff confused. Listen up please. Thank you. So if I picked any 2 points on the line, maybe that point right there or that point right there, really honestly, any 2 points on that red line, what would be the rise between those 2 points? There would be no rise, it would be 0 rise. So I would say here that my m equals 0 over, what's my run between those 2 points? Just the ones I picked. No, the run.
1.
The run would be that distance right there. I don't think those are 12 apart.
8? Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What?
Wait,
10.
1, 2.
8.
It's 10.
It's
5. 10.
It'd be 5.
Oh, you guys are counting the boxes, aren't you?
Yeah.
Did you notice that each box is only worth a half?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was really confused for a second there. So isn't this negative 1 right here? Oh, come on. Negative 1, 1. So what's the run?
4.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't the run 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, that wouldn't be true.
So my rise is 0, my run is 5. What's 0 divided by 5?
0.
So the slope of a horizontal line is 0. Do you guys want a cute way to remember this?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Okay. So it's true, as Sophia pointed out, if you've got a horizontal line, you'd ask yourself, why would I ski that? So I've got a continuing ski analogy. If you were on that red line and somehow you were convinced to ski it, and you went and stood on that red line and you clicked into your skis, you got your poles and you just stood there, how fast would you go? You'd go 0. You get it? 0 slope. Horizontal line has 0 slope. Because if you tried to ski it, you'd go 0. Still with me? Okay, cool. Then what about the blue line? What do you guys think there as far as that slope goes? Any guesses, thoughts, educated guesses? What do you think, Sophia?
I don't know if this is right, but isn't it undefined or something?
Okay. So let's see here. Sophia says undefined. Okay, what else? Any other thoughts?
Yeah.
Bree.
I just say there's no slope. Like you can't have slopes. I don't know what the word is for, but there's a certain word for it.
Okay. No slope.
Undefined.
Sophia said undefined. Are you looking for undefined?
I think so.
Okay. What else? Anybody else with a thought on? Say again? Undefined. Okay. So, guys, I'd say both of the comments up there are right on the money. They are. Let's talk about why. If I picked out any 2 points on the line, maybe I'll make it easier on you this time. Maybe this point here and this point right here. And slope is rise over run. What's the rise between those 2 points? Made it easier on you this time because they're labeled. What's the rise?
Oh, rise up. Hold up.
So the rise is how many?
Not 5. Talking about from here to here. 6, right? From -4 to 2. The rise is 6. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. What's the run? 0 run. Do you guys remember back to our properties? You're not allowed in math to divide something by 0. So 6 divided by 0. This is undefined. And so we'd say that a vertical line has undefined slope, or you could say that it has no slope.
No slope.
And I do have a ski analogy for this one too. You guys remember if you tried to ski a vertical line, you'd get X'd out?
Yeah.
Couldn't you also say if you tried to ski a vertical line, you'd become undefined?
Yes.
You wouldn't exist?
Yes.
There would be no more you, right, if you tried to ski a vertical line. So anyways, so again, cutesy way to remember it. There's obviously math behind it, but a cute way to remember it as well. How we doing?
Good.
Okay, we're going to continue with our theme. We're going to keep working on lines. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. So there's our DMR. Yes, this is what I want to do here today. Take a look at practice 1. Number 1, work on this together. Write the slope-intercept equation of the line graphed below.
I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
question on the last page. Why do you pick these two?
I picked just random points.
But doesn't it change the slope? Like,
Good
'cause
question.
If you were to pick this one and like that one,
Sure.
then
It shouldn't.
the run would be different.
Let's check it out. Let's see this. So, if we say I take this point over here and this point right here. So, slope would be rise over run. What's the rise between this and that? What's the run? From 4 over here to, what is it, -6?
It would be.
From 4 to 6, negative 6.
Oh, negative.
From here to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 10 or negative 10. It really doesn't matter. 0 divided by negative 10.
So it's y minus no. Oh, y. I was thinking y interpretation.
No.
Y
So
intercept?
0
Okay,
0
so
divided into
it's
10 parts.
y minus y1 equals
Equals 0.
M
Like if I had $0 in my
plus-
pocket, and I said I'm going to divide it amongst all of you,
parentheses
it's going to give me
x minus x1.
Right, this should look.
If I had $0 in my pocket, and I said I'm going to take my $0, you all get 0, right? And so if I take 0 and I divide it into 10 parts, each of those 10 parts gets a lump of 0.
That's y intercept.
However, if I we look vertically, let's say I fix this point here and this
That's not
point
this
here,
y intercept and the slope intercept.
and they said
Slope
slope
intercept
equals
is
rise
y
over run
minus y
again.
equals mx plus
What's the rise for
No, it's not.
between these two points?
Give me 5. It's in 5.
What's the run? This is where it needs to be able to find because you can't divide 12 into 0 parts. Don't you at least have to have a part?
Y equals.
So you can't divide into 0 parts. And so we would say this is undefined.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes.
So flip over to that next, your question earlier, keep going.
That's,
Your question earlier about your question earlier about does it matter which points we pick? We could have another good discussion about that here, potentially, so think about that.
Okay.
If that question is still kind of lingering, let me know. Sir?
You graded my concept quiz yet?
One you took 20 minutes ago?
Well, you grade so fast.
I do, but we just had this class. Like if we didn't have this class right now, it probably would be done or almost done. Okay, seeing some folks that are either very close or are done. So here we go. Did you all start off with this?
yes.
Good?
I know, but there's also so much y intercept.
Okay, Caroline, what does the B stand for?
It's the y intercept.
B is the y-intercept. Okay, so looking at that graph, what did you guys determine is the y-intercept? -5. So I could start off by writing y equals mx minus 5. I've got the y-intercept in place. The only thing I got to do is figure out my slope. Anybody have a suggestion on how you could figure out your slope? Keep thinking on you. What do you think, Mason?
Find 3 spots where like the line hits like a certain corner.
Yeah, hits a corner of a box.
And
Sure.
then however much.
Which ones did you pick? I'm kind of. Oh, you have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mason, I saw in Mason's paper, he's got this one marked, that one, and that one too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got all 4 of those. So the question is, hey guys, this might actually be, this is going to address a question that was asked earlier, and this might be your question too. Does it matter if I looked at my rise and run like this, or like this, or should I be looking at my rise and my run like the green triangle? What's the best way? The first one, the right one? What do you think?
Well, I started at -5 and went up 1 and over 3.
Okay. So let's look this over. So if I did the red one, what's the rise on the red one?
1, 3.
1. And what's the run?
3.
Okay. How about the blue one? What's the rise? You guys see the rise is 2? What's the run? How about the green one?
Nice.
And what's the run? So look at all those ratios. 1 divided by 3. What's 2 divided by 6? Isn't that 1/3? How about 3 divided by 9?
1/3.
So it really doesn't matter which 2 points you pick. The ratio should still be the same. So really, honestly, you can pick any 2 points that are actually on the line, and you should be able to figure out the slope from there. So I agree with you guys that the final slope would probably be 1/3. So if you wrote 1/3, y equals 1/3 x minus 5, I think you've got a good handle on that. Okay, questions? Ellie, do you see how that kind of ties in with your earlier question?
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. So please, take a look at number two. Number two. Number two, please. I'll get it on screen for you. Of course. Okay, number two, find the equations of those two lines. Sure. What is on the x-axis? I think it's parallel to the x-axis. So I think there's different ways to look at it. Here's a more analytical way. We started picking up points on this line. So this one is the point 1, comma 2. This one is the point 3, comma 2. This one is negative 2, comma 2. This one over here is negative 4, comma 2. And you notice that on every single one of those points, the y-coordinates are the same. They're all 2. So this means, for this pattern, that the y is going to be 2, the x is going to be kind of whatever they need to be. Similar to the reason on y. Yeah. Interesting approach. I like it. So far, so good. What's the slope of the horizontal line? If I tried to ski it, how fast would I go? So the slope of the horizontal line is 0. What's 0 times x? Plus 2. What's 0 plus 2? The other way to think about it is if I try to ski that, wouldn't I ask the question, why would I ski that? So y equals 2. Yep. So So horizontal line, like I'm going to tell you this 100% of the time, horizontal line is going to be y equals some number. And if you can figure out what that number is, in this case you're just going to count up 2 to get to that line. That's the number that y equals.
Right, so pretend the line is up here.
Sure.
Would you count 1, 2, 3, 5?
No, just 4, right? Because you didn't get a 5. So that'd be y equals 4. And same thing with negative numbers, right? So if you had a horizontal line down there like negative 7, it'd be y equals negative 7. Oh my. Well, so like. Yeah, there is. Yeah, so this is, I think, where this is where using the slope-intercept forms kind of falls apart. Because the slope is undefined, you can't just like plug in undefined for n and think, well, it must be good. Have to think about that. How you could make that work. My thought is simply, isn't every x coordinate on this line -3? So that's telling us that x is -3 and y can be whatever it needs to be. Okay. Yes. So this fits I think this fits the C pattern really good. Julia, what did you get for line A?
1 equals 2.
Say again? Oops. Julie got y equals 2 for line A. I hope that that's the case for all of you. It's definitely right. And then Noah, what did you get for line B?
I got x equals 3.
X equals 3. You guys good with that?
No, it was -3.
Shouldn't it be negative?
Negative.
3? Okay. Okay, those are good. If you tried to ski it, you'd get X'd out. If you tried to ski the other one, you'd say, why would I ski that? Okay, cool. Okay, you guys are doing great. Let's keep rolling on to, yes. These will be our last two for sure. So number 3 says write the point slope. Do you guys remember point slope form? I'll write it up here for you if you maybe forgot it. Point slope form is y minus a y coordinate equals slope, parentheses, x minus an x coordinate. So please see if you can get these numbers plugged into the appropriate spots and come up with your point slope. How do you choose what?
How would you start this?
So
Just like
it's y. So you remember, to find the equation of a line, you have to have two things: a slope and a point. And I've got them, right? My slope is -2,
so
and my
that,
point is -3, 1.
would that be the -2 just be y or
No.
y1?
It's your m,
Oh, it's
because it says your slope is
oh,
-2.
it's slope. So then y1 would be. Sorry. So then the 1 would be y1.
Yeah, because the y coordinate of our point is 1, and then the x coordinate is -3.
Wait. So then where would you find the first y?
There,
Like where would you find that y?
that's just going to be a variable, because your linear equations are always going to have a y and an x in them, right? And so like y equals mx plus b.
Oh, okay.
How do I do these? Can I just answer everybody's questions at the same time? Does that work? Okay. So I can see that there's a little confusion. So let me ask you a question. What are the two things you got to have to write the equation of any line?
Slope and a point.
A slope and a point. No, slope and just a point. So, do y'all see this? Slope is -2. So I would say that that's going to go right here. And my point is right here. So I think you're going to find this point slope form in the end. I hope you find this to be even easier than any slope intercept you've ever done. Please pay attention. I think this is really good. So, isn't this my x1 and this would be my y1? It's like my x coordinate and my y coordinate. So I think we're going to find with these point slope forms, all you have to do is just drop numbers into where they go and you're done. So here's what I would do. I would write y minus the y coordinate, which was 1, equals slope, which was -2, times x minus the x coordinate. So it would be x minus -3. Technically, that's it. If you wanted to, you could write y minus 1 equals -2 parentheses x plus 3. Obviously, that's cleaned up a little bit. Guys, that's it. That's all we really have to do. So you see how all you're doing is you're dropping numbers into the appropriate spots? Once you've dropped them in, I would take either one of these.
You just leave the line.
Full credit, full credit. Don't all linear equations, like at least ones that are angled, don't they have to have a y and an x variable? So yeah, you do leave those. Hey, here's one last chance for you guys to maybe see if you can do a little better. Why don't you look at number 4? Look at number 4 and try that. So A is really just like what we did in 3. You guys feel like you know what to do with 4A?
Yes and no. because of the slope of the fraction.
Okay,
Does that not matter?
doesn't matter at all.
Oh, well then, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay,
Do you distribute the M?
when we get to part B, yes. But for part A, no.
So if I just like plugged it in, would that be
So it'd be
the
like
answer?
this?
Well, you got to have your M in there. Your M is negative 1/4.
Oh,
Like that?
that makes more sense now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So A should look like this. Y minus the y coordinate equals the slope times x minus the x coordinate. If you wanted to clean it up a little bit, you could have y minus 5 equals negative 1/4, parentheses x plus 8. Yeah, totally. Okay,
Just like the answer.
for A, yeah, that's definitely the answer for A. What about for B? How do you think I could get that to slope-intercept form? What would be a good first step?
You would do y equals negative 1/4
Okay,
x plus, wait, never mind.
yeah, x plus 8,
But then,
and then plus 5. What would I need to do with the negative 1/4 to get me all the way to slope-intercept?
put the, take.
Multiply it through. What property do I have to use with the negative 1/4? Distributive, right?
Oh,
So I distribute here and here. That would give me y equals negative 1/4 x. What's negative 1/4 times 8? Negative 2. So this would give me finally y equals negative 1/4 x plus 3. So believe it or not, if you graphed this and if you graph this, you get the exact same line. The exact same thing. Okay, we'll keep practicing with this next time. Have a good rest of your day.
oh, is that mine?
Yes.